Greetings, it's Mtswompo Fana, yeah. And, I watch football a lot. I watch global football. I watch South African football. I watch African football. I like football. It's nice to watch. So I think I'd know a little bit about the sports. I've played it, maybe not professionally, but I know what it's about. So, when I watch Bafana play, for me, it almost looks like, I don't know how to explain it because, you can tell when a team is flowing, when a team can flow and can, is making runs into the box. And with Bafana, you don't have that. At the moment, I'm watching a Premier League match. And you can tell like kind of who the team is, what the team is about by just watching it. When I watch Bafana, it doesn't match the talent that South Africa has. Because I know South Africa has tons of talent. Like the guys can play, even when I was younger, back in the 90s, we used to play and guys used to dribble even better than a lot of players right now. Like, we often overlook our players and think that now they're not world class. But you know what can make them world class? As if we let them play. Because I think the problem with Bafana, besides Danny Jordan and the administrative staff of SAFA, is that for sure, the politics of the organization of the football association that makes a football team can play a big role in how, in certain attitudes. But I don't think that's a problem in South Africa because, like, Baxter, Mashaba, Egerson delivered. So I don't see what the problem is. Just players, pitch, coach. How simple is that? In politics, you can think about it another day because there's no way you're going to think of politics when there's a game going on. You're going to think about that afterwards, you know. So now you're telling me that whatever coach or Bafana are sabotaging themselves just because the politics of SAFA is that. I don't buy that. I really do not buy that. But yeah, I think South African football can be world class because I know our people. I mean, like, I'm not like an eternal optimist, and I'm neither a pessimist about our football. I know what it's about. We can be world class. There was a time that Tottenham and Manchester used to do tours here, and we used to, like, sometimes we used to even beat them with far less facility. Think about it. This is Manchester United and Tottenham. It's like really big clubs in world football, and they're struggling against teams that are like, not that professional in South Africa, you know. But the thing is, I don't think the politics of SAFA should have, if even, I don't think it does at the moment, and I don't think it ever should. Even if, if Brazil was like facing like a game tomorrow and there was some political things happening, you really think that they're gonna sabotage the game just because? I don't buy that. In South Africa we have the talent. In South Africa we have the talent. To anyone who's listening to this, we have the talent, we can be world class. But the problem is we're not being allowed to be world class. When you watch Bafana, you can see that these guys are not being allowed, are not free. These guys are not allowed to be themselves, They're not rubbing the ball, they're not doing, you know how a guy plays as opposed to a person that's following instructions. A guy who's following instructions does. When you play football, it just comes, instinct just comes naturally, it flows. I don't know, people who know football or even have played would know this, because there's a difference between like set instructions and playing from instinct. There's a difference, because when you play naturally and you feel free, even you can even surpass your expectations sometimes. So that's my take on Bafana, and I don't think yeah, you could be top 5 in Africa and top 30 in the world, even in the FIFA rankings. But for some reason, the guys are not being allowed to play themselves, play how they feel, how they want to play. Also, we ignore talents, just talents that are so good, like guys that should be playing but are just not playing. Thabo Cele is doing wonders in Portugal, but he's not being selected for Bafana. Maybe Mahlangu has, I don't know, maybe I read once there was politics that affected the relationship between May Mahlangu and Safa, so he couldn't play. Dino Ndlovu scoring goals like mad in China. Who else? I don't know. There's guys that could play for Bafana. I haven't seen the guy Motiba. I hear he's doing well. He was doing well in France, but I don't know what he's doing, how he's doing right now. But we don't select good players in Bafana. We just select on a set criteria, and on top of that, we don't allow the players to express themselves. That's almost a recipe for disaster. I think you think it's obvious that to do well in tournaments and to do well in qualifiers, you choose the best players and you allow them to express themselves. I'm not a fan of these types of Guardiola and European styles of telling the players to do everything to the T, like make this run 5 meters left, make this run. No. I'm not about that. I want to tell the boys, knock the ball around, do all the training before the game, and when the game comes, they can play how they feel, because I'm not going to be on the field to know what it's going to be like. They're going to go out to the field and fight for me, so that's what I think. I don't believe in telling a player what to do so precisely that it's almost robotic. I think a player must just play. That's my take of football, South African football, and South African football in the global sphere. Because like a lot of guys think that European football is different from African football, and it is different. But you could always learn from better teams. There's no crime in like watching Juventus and see what they're doing and see how you can improve on that, how you can improve yourself by watching them. I don't think it's a crime to watch even Chinese or South American football to improve, see what they're doing, and make yourself better. Because if you're just stuck with African football, you're just gonna be. Maybe you're gonna be. Maybe it's. I don't know. But you're gonna be stuck in a in a world where there's no, you don't see any other styles of football if you're just stuck with African or South African football for that matter. I'm not against guys just watching PSL or South African football, but for myself personally, I like expanding my repertoire of knowledge and watching global football also. So that's my take, and thank you for listening.